Good evening. I'm Carson Everett, joined alongside Roman Gray here in Monarchs Stadium, where the 4-4 John Marshall Monarchs are preparing to take on the Lindsley School Cadets, who are 7-1. Roman, what can we expect from both teams tonight?
Well, Carson, it is a home finale for the Monarchs this season, which can bring out some emotions for the players. They'll need to stay within themselves and execute their game plan to win this game. As for Lindsley, they have playmakers all over the field. I'm interested to see how they get them all involved.
Thank you, Roman. Stay tuned. Kickoff is right around the corner.
Get the facts on vaping. Fact: more than 20% of high school students have tried vaping. Fact: one disposable vape contains as much nicotine as 20 cigarettes. Now is the time to talk to your son or daughter about vaping. This message is brought to you by the Marshall County Health Department and Youth Service Systems. For more facts about teen vaping, visit marshallcountyhealthdepartment.com.
Welcome back. And while we have a second, let's take a look at each team's keys to the game. Carson, what can we expect from the Cadets?
Well, Roman, the Cadets defensively need to win at the line of scrimmage and take care of the football and win the field position battle.
Now, let's talk about the Monarchs. They want to move the ball effectively, want to force turnovers, and get the defense off the field.
Also, tonight is senior night for both the broadcasting students.
Before the game, the senior broadcast members and band members were honored on the field, including me and Carson.
But now that the game's about to start, let's talk about who's on the field right now, specifically the refs crew.
We have a six-man crew tonight, led by Warren Elliott. Out there with him is George Brandenburg, William Thrasher, Brian Prezowinski Jr., Daniel Kelly, and Rusty Vermillion.
So both teams' captains are out there right now getting prepared for the kickoff as they just ran out a few seconds ago.
Monarchs going with their usual captains, the Sabuka twins, with Jacob Caulfield and Cole Porter.
Big game for those four here tonight.
And I think this is the first game we're going to see Jacob Caulfield back out there. Obviously, he's been back since Brook, but the first game at home that he's back since his arm injury.
Yeah, we didn't see him last game. We got the call versus Kaiser. But now it'll be nice to see him back in the lineup.
Here's our coin toss.
Good look there. Ref dropped the coin there.
Have to redo it.
Nice shot there by our cameraman. That coin toss. The Monarchs are taking the sideline now.
Seeing what the outcome of the coin toss was. So the Monarchs will start with the ball. I think Lindsley won and deferred to the second half.
Excited to see what the Monarchs do here on offense. You know, you got a few guys banged up this week.
Yeah, especially Clipson Wallace, been the workhorse for that backfield all year long. Really been probably their biggest playmaker, and now he's out.
Definitely a big loss for them.
We get to see a lot more J.D. Wells tonight. With the Kaiser game, it was. He got a lot of return opportunities. So they're keeping it short away from Ashton Collette. And he looked pretty good running the ball then, so now he gets a bigger opportunity.
I think J.D. Wells will fit in perfect tonight and continue where Clipson's left off. So, I mean, we've definitely seen some flashes, and we've seen him being able to make those moves that Clipson has and really just carry this offense when his number's called.
But with that injury to Clipson, the run game probably not going to be as good as we're used to seeing. So going to need a big-time game from Jacob Caulfield if they want to take down the Cadets here.
Expect some of the other guys to step up like Ashton Collette and Demario White.
Another guy we won't see out there is Wesley Hughes. So the young sophomores for John Marshall, two of the best players, both inactive tonight.
And those are huge losses for the Monarchs. Like you said, just two big playmakers all around the field.
Now both teams are out for kickoff. Kicking it for Lindsley is going to be Santiago Graneros.
See what this kicker can do here on the opening kickoff. He had a pretty good leg hit in warm-ups today.
Yeah, we saw him hit from 57 a couple times. It's a high kick. Ashton Collette's going to give it a shot. He's going to try to go up the middle of the field. Ashton Collette, he's got some room. And what a start for the Monarchs.
Beautiful run there for Ashton. You know how dangerous he can be in open space.
Usually what you see in high school a lot is when it kicks that deep, they usually just let it go. But Ashton Collette, he wants the ball as much as possible. And that's why.
I think it's a good idea for Ashton to take the ball. We've seen him had some big returns this year. He's just so quick and elusive.
So out comes Caulfield's offense.
See the starting lineup there on your screen for the Monarchs tonight.
Center Caleb Yates. Someone Caesar told us about back. He's out there. Glad he's back out there healthy. And the Monarchs going to start off with J.D. Wells. He's going to fight for all he can. That's going to be about 3 yards.
A solid first run there for JD. Really just want to set the tempo here early.
I think JD can fill in very well tonight. He's fast. He's strong. I think the biggest issue with him is his fumbling.
I'm sure he's got a lot more reps now. Probably got a lot more experience in there. So hopefully that isn't an issue tonight. But I think you're right. Like, he can make these big plays. And Lindsley's been such a good school this year. Coming in at 7-1.
And there's J.D. Wells again, and they're going to go back to the original line of scrimmage, losing 3.
Huge loss there for the Monarchs. Now brings up 3rd down and 10.
Which is an obvious passing situation, so going to test out Caulfield's arm early here.
See Sabuka and White come in for the Monarchs.
Late exit for the Monarchs. Brady Deem is off the field. It's going to be play action. Caulfield's going to roll out. Going to throw one to the sideline. Great coverage there, looking for DeMario White.
Just isn't able to connect there on that play. Great defense there by Lindsley.
That was really good coverage. 2 guys right there. So out comes Connor Fitzpatrick.
Been a great punter all season long.
I mean, he makes every punt exciting with how far he can kick it.
So expect Lindsley to start back pretty deep here.
The return man is going to stand at his own 30-yard line. Fitz is going to punt from the 25. It's a little bit of a high snap. He has to go back to get it. Still gets off a great kick.
Beautiful kick there by Fitzpatrick down to the 20. Great coverage there by the Monarchs to not let them even have a chance of taking anything back.
So Braden Sabuka was the man down there. Right in the return man's face.
And here's 2 new linebackers we haven't seen this year. JD and Maverick Lemasters. Another one of those young sophomores.
And he's in for the injured Jace Riding. A lot of injuries on this Monarch team. It's going to be Lindsley's first play. It's going to be a screen. A nice move right there. That was Atlee Cohen. He's Lindsley's quarterback.
Nice coverage there by the Monarchs defense. Not letting anything get too deep. They got 5 here. So let's see what they're going to do here on 2nd and 5.
They're going to get to the line quick. So drop a quick there over the middle. That's going to be enough for the first down.
That's Luca there on the catch.
Atlee Cohen so far getting the ball out quick. And Lindsley's going to go up tempo yet again.
I'm watching film here on Atlee. He gets the ball out quick, but he can also get out of the pocket and throw it while on the run. And then we've seen him be able to move out of the pocket and escape and pick up big yardage.
Really versatile from his quarterback position. Can make a lot of plays happen. It's going to be another quick throw. Pretty good coverage there by the Monarchs, not allowing any big run.
One gets to Johnson there. Reception.
So far, 3 passes to 3 different guys. Like we mentioned in the opener, they got playmakers all over the field. They want to spread it out, get it to everyone they can, and keep the defense guessing.
Marsh needed to get some pressure back there.
Cohen's going to drop again, and he's going to go underneath again. It's DiLorenzo, and he
got
can
some
fly
space.
down the middle of the field. He's going to make a cut to the
outside.
outside. He's got a blocker
ahead and just goes right in the end zone.
Luca DiLorenzo.
Look at the speed. And you see the little waddle over there. Celebration.
So Lindsley strikes quick on their first possession.
I mean, you just see the pure speed there by the Lindsley receivers on that drive.
That's all that was. They didn't try to do anything special, just get it to their playmakers where they can.
And Lindsley has a bunch of them.
So now it's Graneros. He's got 26 PATs on the year already. Trying out on number 27. And it's no good. Graneros off the upright. He's not a guy who's going to miss too much. So the Monarchs get a little lucky there.
Do catch a break there on that play. If you're a kicker, you hate to see that.
All right, 6-0 now. John Marshall set to get the ball back after getting, at the end, no yardage on their last drive.
The Monarchs are definitely going to have to put some points up on the board if they want to stay in this game.
As we see, Lindsley can strike quick and out of nowhere.
They can just flip the field so fast. Here, out comes Lindsley now.
And after Ashton Collette's first return, it'll be interesting to see if, like most teams, they try to keep it away from him. I think it's J.D. Wells is the other deep guy. And DeMario White a little bit in front of them.
Mario White's another guy you don't want to have let the ball get in his hands because he can make moves and he is super quick.
So Graneros kickoff number 2 coming here.
This one's going to be deep.
Back to Ashton. Collette trying to make something happen, but a lot better coverage from the Cadets, but he's still able to get it up past the 25 to the 26.
I mean, you don't see many teams do that. Just kicking right to Ashton Collette. Most of them try to keep it away from them.
They're trusting their coverage right now. That time it worked out pretty well, but still a good job by Collette getting all he could right there.
See Cole Porter out there. You know, he's one of those guys that definitely wants it here tonight.
Oh, yeah. Last home game of his career.
And it's a guy that's been so impressive his whole time with the Monarchs.
Started all 4 years. Someone's definitely going to be missed next year, but he doesn't want to think about that right now. He wants to focus on what's at hand. It's the Lindsley Cadets. It's going to be an empty backfield for Caulfield. They're going to try the quarterback run, but nothing there. Maybe lost a yard.
That was Jackson Selman that gets the first hit there on Jacob. And I think Landon Taylor is in there to bring him down.
And the offense, the game at the line of scrimmage is going to be something to watch all night because that's, where the Monarchs usually have who we talk about their best players. And then, Lindsley, they got some big guys up there. So it's going to be a great battle.
Definitely will.
So
it's
far,
definitely something to pay a lot of attention to tonight.
So far, Lindsley has the upper hand. You're going to go back to J.D. Wells. He's going to spin. It's a good run from J.D. Wells.
I think the ball is out. I think Cole Porter or J.D. Wells got on top of it.
So he picks up 5. It's going to make it 3rd and manageable. So they're lucky to keep the ball.
Definitely something you don't like to see early in this game. Well, let's see what they're going to do here on 3rd and 5.
Going to be Wells and Deem in the backfield with Caulfield. Going to motion over Ashton Collette.
There's going to be a flag.
I think this might be on Lindsley for jumping in the neutral zone.
That'll be huge here for the Monarchs.
And it will be on Lindsley, and that should be enough for a first down. This is going to be about
Encouragement. Defense, 5 yards, 3rd down.
So it's about an inch short from the first down.
I mean, that sets you up good, though, here on 3rd down and 1 now. So I think we might see a QB sneak here
And
with Caulfield under center.
refs are going to meet again, and it might be about the spot of the ball.
You got to imagine that's probably what it is about. So Marshall's just going to huddle up here and talk a little bit.
I think Caesar, he wants it measured. Not like give it to him. It's the snap. So now let's see if he was even able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Luca De Lorenzo says he has it.
So 3rd and inches, and a near disaster for John Marshall, and it's going to be 4th down.
Now, if you're the Monarchs, what do you think you do here on this?
It's looking like the offense is going to stay. Brain Sabuka going to check into the game to go deliver the play. Chase Barch. That has to sting right there, not getting the first down. You're that close. You're going to go back up the middle to Caulfield. And from the spot right here, he looks like they're not going to give him the first down. See if they change it at all.
Maybe it fell forward a little bit, and then there's that big D line there for Lindsley just pushed him back.
And they're going to give it to Lindsley. So what a stand for the Cadets defense.
Lindsley's looking really good right now. Not giving up many mistakes.
And they're already trying to get set at the offensive line. But, I mean, that defense, that's kind of crazy. You had a 3rd and inches, don't give it up. A 4th and inches, don't give it up.
And on that drive, there was multiple fumbles.
And there's a good stand by the Monarchs defense.
There's Jacob Caulfield in there on the tackle with Ty Rogers.
And that was Kevin Stanisi trying to get to the edge. The Monarchs were there. So now they're going to force a 2nd and 15. This is where they really need their secondary. Steve Lorenzo's going to go over in motion. They're going to give him a running start. They're going to look for him, but
Just
nothing there.
Missed him.
And there's Brennan Sabuka in coverage.
Maybe if you would have put that more over the shoulder, like towards the pylon, could have been something there, but just doesn't connect.
Still really good coverage from Sabuka.
So now this is where you want to see the Monarchs succeed. We've seen them struggle a little bit here earlier in the season versus Parkersburg South, where they get it to 3rd and long and just let up these big plays.
They're going to bring some pressure, and it's going to work out. So the ball's thrown at Di Lorenzo's feet, so it's going to be 4th and 15 as the Monarchs defense is going to respond to the early touchdown drive they gave up.
I mean, great defense there for the Monarchs. They're going to get the offense back the ball. I think we really just need to see this offense step up tonight. We've seen the defense do it all year long. Then we just seen some struggles come on the offensive side.
Di Lorenzo must be able to do it all. He's going to be the punter here, too. He's going to get off a high one. A lot of hang time here. It's going to take a good Lindsley bounce as it hit a Lindsley player.
He's just going to jump on it there around the 9-yard line.
They're going to say it hit him at about the 11 or 12. Can't quite tell. So Mark's offense back out onto the field. Really need to get something going now. Could try and get a little bit of momentum here after you're able to force the 3 and out.
I got to expect the Monarchs are probably going to bring out some other trickery here tonight.
Yeah, we've seen Coach Caesar. He's got a deep bag of plays. You can expect anything from him here tonight.
Just see how the rest of this game goes and see what they do decide to do.
It's going to be Caulfield on the keeper.
Breaking off a few tackles. Eventually brought down by Collins Paul. Strong run there for 4 yards.
That's some Monarchs offense right there. You don't need a huge play. They just like to kind of chip away at it. And 4 yards, that's a good first down play. And look who's in the backfield with Jacob. Andreas Hunter and Cole Porter.
What a duo back there.
And I think Porter flinched a little bit, got a little jumpy there.
And what a duo in the backfield right now.
Those are not two guys who I'd want to step in and tackle.
Not at all. Just two giant guys. Could just run through you.
That's a rare mistake from Cole Porter. We don't see that too much from him. But they're going to go back.
Still going to keep Cole.
They're going to go over the middle to Ashton Collette, who has a good catch.
Nice snag there by Ashton.
It's going to set up a third down. And one the Monarchs really need here early on.
So it's going to be 3rd and 4 now.
I wonder what else we're going to see here from this offense.
See what they're going to do here with the backfield. Still keeping Cole back there.
Going to try another Caulfield keeper. And he's going to have enough for the first down. He's able to fall forward through a couple tacklers.
I mean, Jacob gets to follow his boy Cole right up the middle. And you got all those incredible linemen up front. I bet it's nice to have an extra one, especially if Cole Porter's abilities in the backfield.
Yeah, with Porter and Hunter in the backfield, we see Scotty Schinderline and Ty Rogers out there a little bit more.
I mean, those are another great linemen. I think the lineman group for this team just runs so deep that you could do stuff like this.
They're going to go back with Caulfield this time to the left, and he's not going to have any room. So Lindsley's starting to figure this out a little bit maybe.
It seemed like Caulfield maybe got caught up there a little bit in the backfield, which threw the timing off, which let the whole defense slide over to Jacob. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 now. And we got to think how big of a game this is for the Monarchs tonight, too. Not only, like we said, it's the seniors' last game here, but if you win this, you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, very good chance to make it if you win.
Jacob Caulfield goes deep.
It's Braden Sabuka just off the fingertips as he laid out for it.
Jacob just found him and just not able to connect.
Those are the type of plays you got to have. As Braden had a step, just not able to hook up there. That's really the first time we've seen Caulfield air it out, though.
Definitely would have been a step in the right direction towards that playoff hunt. So if you don't win here tonight, you got to go play against rival Wheeling Park.
Yeah, you need one of those two to make it. Right now, they're tied at 18th with a couple different teams. So they're right there on the doorstep to that number 16 spot. And a win over a team like Lindsley or Park, it'll put you there. They've they're having a really tough stretch here at the end of the year. Went to Morgantown last week, Lindsley right now, and then they got Park next week.
So the schedule has not been easy on them towards the end of the season.
Caulfield's going to drop back.
He's got
going to
pressure.
set up the screen. Here's J.D. Wells. And they're going to say he caught it with his knee down. Caulfield took a shot in the backfield. He's slow to get up, but he is up. They're going to say J.D. went down to catch the ball.
Didn't look like he was down, but kind of farther away. Let's look at the replay here.
He might have been. I couldn't quite tell right there. Yeah, he was down. It's a good shot by our camera crew.
Would have been a good play there, but now it brings up 4th down and 10.
So a big punt here for Connor Fitzpatrick early in the game, really needing to flip the field the best he can. It's a much better snap this time. Almost got blocked, but Fitzy gets off a line drive kick. That was Luca Di Lorenzo who almost got to it. He's everywhere so far tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he's just doing it all. Playing receiver, a little bit on defense, and punter.
And he almost got his fellow punter right there, Fitzy. He's able to get off another good kick.
Just a special player out there for Lindsley.
So here comes Atlee Cohen back out leading his squad. 1 touchdown drive, 1 3 and out.
See what Lindsley does here on this drive.
John Marshall's looking to bring a little pressure, and they will. It's going to be a screen. Some good blocking from Lindsley, but good tackling from John Marshall.
Just gets tripped up. I think that was Cody Hartman there.
That was multi-field for Lindsley.
Hartman's a newer guy we've seen in the starting lineup these past few weeks.
As usually, your holder plays a little safety too.
I mean, he's just such a great athlete.
Here's Cohen on 2nd down. They want the screen. It's well covered by John Marshall. They get it, and it's still covered up, so it's going to be a loss of 1.
Ty Rogers plays that perfectly right there just to bring him down.
Ty Rogers has got a chance to step up the past couple of weeks, and he's been doing so. As Hartman's going to limp off the field. Don't know what happened to him.
It looks like he got a little banged up there on the end of that play before this last one.
Have to get checked out by Smitty. 3rd and 4. 53 seconds left on the first quarter. Try a quick pass. Too high for field. And it's going to be 4th down and 4. And let's see what Lindsley decides to do here. Kind of out in no man's land right now.
Cowan just isn't really on the connection right now as he was on that first drive. He's put a little bit too deep.
The ball was a little overthrown. He's throwing it with some zip, too. It's got to be a little tougher to catch those on a cold night. So Lindsley will punt this time.
Looks like they have a different punter out here this time.
Maybe giving Di Lorenzo a little bit of a break after he's done everything. It's another bouncing punt. Clutch just going to let it roll. It's going to roll inside the 10. Be down at the 9-yard line, so it's another good punt for Lindsley.
I mean, when Lindsley doesn't score, when they had the punt, they put the Monarchs back down deep. And we've really seen the Monarchs kind of struggle there putting together those long drives. Seen them been really successful when they're able to get on their side of the field.
It's a Monarchs team that really relies on their defense to create some turnovers, which is something Coach Teaser wants to see tonight. And on the other side, Coach Depew, he told us he didn't want to see any turnovers. His team's been turning the ball over too much.
Definitely will be a battle of the turnovers here tonight. And then just a great offense versus a great defense.
They're going to get the ball back in Colette's hands, but again, not much going on for John Marshall as Lindsley just is able to crowd to the ball.
And that was Jamie Rydell there and on the tackle. Looked like Cole Porter was a little slow to get up there.
He's been battling a little bit of a hip issue.
He's looking all right.
It's going to take a lot to keep him out of this game.
I mean, he's just one of the toughest guys on this team. We'll just keep fighting.
I think the Monarchs are just going to let the first quarter run out. And that's what will happen. So at the end of 1, Lindsley's defense pitching a shutout, 6-0.
But the Monarchs have not looked bad in this one.
Yeah, can't be upset with this. Just need a little bit more offensive efficiency.
I mean, I think once they get that offense clicking.
And they moved the ball a little bit. Just maybe that played a rating they couldn't connect on. Well, this is WJMH Media's final football broadcast for the year. It won't be the last event for our crew. WJMH reporter Jackson Suddeth is standing by with more details. Jackson? All right, we had a little trouble right there. But we'll be hearing from Jackson later tonight. We'll catch back up with him when we can.
I see the Monarchs coming back out here on the field. 6 and 7. And had the 3-yard run there by Collette on that first play. That ended the first quarter.
This time it's just going to be Caulfield and Wells. They're going to motion over to Mario White, it looked like.
Jacob's going to take a shot there.
To Collette. I think he caught that ball. Ashton Collette.
Beautiful catch there by Ashton, and what a throw there by Jacob. And this is a duo we've seen really start building that chemistry over the season.
Yeah, Collette, he's probably – we don't have the stats for this team, but he's got to be close to being the leading receiver if he's not. That's really the only place Caulfield could put that ball, too. Good touch pass.
The coverage there by Matteo. Just wasn't able to keep up with Collette, and here comes Jacob.
He's going to reverse field. Jacob Caulfield.
What a block there by JD.
That should be enough for another Monarchs first down, as now they're finding a little bit of offensive rhythm. Back-to-back first downs for John Marshall.
And this is what you want to see. If the Monarchs want to win this game, this is what you have to do. Just keep moving the ball.
Look at this vision from Caulfield, slicing through guys, ran into Cole Porter, gave him a little boost forward. So you got Collette matched up with DiLorenzo at the bottom of your screen.
That's
a
going
lot
to
of
roll
speed
out.
right there.
And fire one.
Intercepted. Throws out a stiff arm.
And Sabuka's just able to tackle him there.
That's Alex Taylor with the pick and the mean stiff arm. Just jumped that ball.
Just nice read there by Alex. I mean, just a beautiful play there on the ball.
I'd like to see another look at that stiff arm.
Just undercuts it. And a beautiful stiff arm there by Alex.
Some mean running. And they're going to flip it to DiLorenzo. And he's going to take it to the end zone.
First play, touchdown. That's his second on the night, I'm pretty sure now.
Yep. And it went to multi-field, and then he just was able to get the flip off to DiLorenzo in stride. So it's Lindsley breaking out the trick plays early on.
I mean, that was just a beautiful play there by Lindsley. Forced a turnover and then score a touchdown.
So it looked like the Monarchs were finding a little bit of their offensive rhythm. It's a quick swing, and Lindsley's able to get back in the end zone one play after the pick. Now it's Granero's back out for his second PAT, hoping for the better outcome than he had last time.
And that one's good. And you got to be happy if you're Lindsley's coach right now after how this second quarter started. I mean, just a beautiful play there. Well designed.
And DiLorenzo, he just outruns about two Monarchs right there.
I mean, Lindsley was just there, perfect, just ready, perfectly timed. And what a nice pitch there. See, this team loves their celebrations.
When you run an offense like they do, sure get to try out a couple new ones every now and then. A lot of scoring.
Okay, you look here, the Monarchs sideline. You see Clips and Wallace over there.
So now points are really starting to feel like a must here for the Monarchs. They want to hang around.
If you're the Monarchs, you're definitely not in desperation mode right now. You definitely like to see some points. But you know your defense can compete with these guys.
Your defense has showed this is a game they can kind of win. The offense, they just got to pull their own weight a little bit and get into the end zone.
The offense definitely has to find a way to get some points on the board. But you definitely don't want to get in that point where you're feeling desperate, like you need points right now.
Graneros, he's kicked at Ashton Collette twice. Collette's had 2 solid returns on the night. There's number 3 back at Collette, but he's just gonna let that one go into the end zone.
Touchback there for the Monarchs.
So let's see if this offense can build off the momentum they started building last time before the pick.
There's a guy that's been making a big play here on defense. It's been Jamie Rydell in there on a few tackles. Just being disruptive on that defensive line.
Lindsley's got guys who can do it on both sides of the ball at a high level. It's a big challenge here that John Marshall's up against, but they find themselves in it here early in the second quarter. Now you got to be able to produce a little bit.
The Monarchs need to start reaching into that bag of tricks. That's really when their offense starts opening up. You keep your team or your opponent on their feet.
Again, try a little touch pass.
And that's just not going to work.
Try to get to the Mario White. And you really feel like this offense, there's just a couple more good run of plays from really being settled into this game. They started looking a little bit more comfortable until the pick. But they're starting to kind of settle in a little bit more. Just need a little bit more balance in it, if that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's definitely going to be hard to run the ball here on this defensive line.
Yeah, I think Lindsley's going to make them beat them through the air. So far, that strategy is working out. It's what a lot of teams try to force John Marshall into doing.
So, I mean, it's no secret John Marshall has been a run-first offense for a while now.
And we're going to have a flag. It's going to be DeMario White. Jumped a little.
And this is another thing, if you're the Monarchs, you don't want to see start adding up here tonight.
Dead ball. Encroachment on the defense. Number 9. 5 yards. Still third down.
And that penalty's going to go against John Paul Jones.
Trying to get DeMario to jump a little early. It worked out, but they're going to get Jones going a little too far. From the reaction I saw from Jones and White, it looked like they thought it was going to be on John Marshall.
So what are going to do here on 2nd and 9 now?
He's going to try to go back to J.D. Wells, who might have had a little bit of room before he ran into his own guy.
Looked like he had a nice opening there on the outside, but then Tony McLean just stuffs it.
So it's 3rd and about 7 yards here. I'm going to say 6.
There's a good look at the band celebrating their senior night tonight. They've been doing great all year round.
One of the best bands in the state so far. And we're going to have a timeout from John Marshall. It's 13-0 with 9:12 left in the first half here.
That would have been one of the bands. Not always nice to listen to. One's going to talk it over there on their sideline. They get prepared for this 3rd and 6.
And a game that could have a big impact when it comes to the playoff rankings. Woodrow Wilson and Oak Hill, number 15 and 16, tied 7-7 in the second quarter. As you know, a loss from one of those and a win from John Marshall could jump John Marshall over them.
That's what we got to hope here. If you're a fan of the Monarchs.
So Caesar, his plays are pretty successful after timeouts. So it gives him a little bit extra time to come up with something. Let's see what he's got going here. On 3rd and 7, Coffey's going to drop back. He's going to try to throw across the field looking for J.D. Wells, but little miscommunication on where guys were supposed to be, I think, and Wells wasn't all the way out there.
And, I mean, just look at the pressure there by Rydell. Just getting back there in Jacob's face and forcing him to throw it right away. Now it's going to bring out 4th and 6. You got to imagine it's probably another punt here for the Monarchs. There was a penalty down on the field for illegal man downfield.
And as expected, Lindsley declines it, so out comes Connor Fitzpatrick for his 3rd punt of the night. He's got off 2 really good ones so far. Luca Di Lorenzo, he's on the edge. He's going to try to get after it. He's blocked a couple PATs this year as well. So you got a good jump. Coffey was able to pick him up. He's still able to affect the kick. It's going to take a good John Marshall bounce, though, and go out right about the 35-yard line.
I mean, just DiLendro. This is so quick off the outside.
Lorenzo. He was. I mean, I thought Coffey was going to have him picked up. He just ran right by his shoulder.
And definitely have to get someone out there to block him. Last thing the Monarchs need is a blocked punt.
And Coach B.J. Depew, he said DiLorenzo is probably the most dynamic player he's ever coached in his 15 years of coaching. And when you're a coach at Lindsley, you get coach guys like he does. That's high praise right there.
I mean, we see Lindsley. They always have such great athletes, no matter what sport it comes to.
It's going to be a direct snap up the middle, and it's going to have enough for the 1st down.
That's going to be Alex Taylor there on the big run for the Cadets.
Saw him have a pick earlier. Now he's able to run through a couple arm tackles and pick up the 1st down. It's Cohen in the offense. Going to get back to the line quickly like they've done so far all night.
And the Monarchs just need to get a stop here. And if you get to score some points, you're right back in this game.
You're going to try to go back up the middle. This time, good run defense from the Monarchs. Going to force about a loss of 1. Looked like Andreas Hunter was the man there.
And that's Kevin Stainless. Monarchs going to force 2nd and 11. I mean, just look at these stands here tonight, Roman. Both sides are just filled.
It's a jump ball thrown up and caught.
Just going to target there against Jace Barch on that play.
Barch. I think this is his first start of the season he got this year. He's made a couple big plays in the past week.
We've seen him make some big plays, but just never gets turned around to see the ball.
And there he is a little outsized, too. Good read by Cohen to find him. Now you're going to go outside. It's Di Lorenzo. He's going to cut to the outside. Luca Di Lorenzo, are you serious?
Look at the speed on him. Just able to outrun all the Monarchs defenders as he's in for his 3rd of the night.
I mean, there were 4 could-be tacklers right there. He just ran by everyone.
So he's probably ready to get over there on the sideline to turn on and get some water after turning on the Jets.
It's about the 20th time we've seen him do so tonight.
He's in for a big game tonight.
Graneros is money for the 2nd time tonight. He's 2 of 3 now. So now John Marshall finds himself down 20-0.
Looked like Sabuka almost got there for the block, but then Lindsley just gets it off. I mean, just look at that speed. The closest one to him was Caulfield.
From his linebacker spot, giving all he can tonight. But hard for a linebacker to run with a guy like DiLorenzo when a DB can't even do so, you know?
See Jacob over there. Probably just trying to catch his breath here for a second before he has to go right back out there.
There's Coach Anderson in charge of the offensive line, came over from Wheeling Central. He has a very talented line here to work with.
JD and Ashton are back deep. Get a nice look there. Bryce Cook.
It's going to be Lindsley's third kickoff tonight, or fourth, actually.
I think with Clifton being out this game, it really probably changed up the Monarchs' view on how they would go about this.
Yeah, definitely going to have to figure it out a little bit more through the air than you could when you had Clifton Wallace, who you can rely on to make something out of nothing. So far, there's been nothing for the Monarchs tonight.
I mean, you had that two-headed dragon in the backfield with Caulfield being able to scramble and then Clifton being able to run.
So here's Collette. He's going to give it a shot. Ashton Collette trying to reverse field, but he's going to get up to the 25. A good return again from Collette. He won a little bit more there, but good coverage from Lindsley.
Out comes the D-line there. See Luca out there now.
Another look at our return from Collette.
Breaks off a few tackles.
They wanted to get to the outside, but it was Matteo Dimitrioski there with a good containment. They're going to motion Collette around a little bit just to give it up to J.D. Wells. He's got no room again.
It's going to be Wyatt Haynes there on the tackle.
Going to give him about 3 yards.
You just need to get a little, I mean, you don't have to get the big play every time. Just got to keep getting some yardage.
No, they're definitely right on the edge of getting this offense into a good rhythm. Just not quite able to get over the hump so far, as Lindsley's just making the plays when they need to. They're going to go back to Wells, who makes a good cut back to the middle of the field.
It looks like their hole he wanted got stuffed, and JD's just able to bounce it out and pick up a few extra.
I think he got about 4 yards right there. Got a couple more than he would have had if it wasn't for that nice cut he had. But even whenever he makes a nice move like that, there's Cadets right there.
I mean, they're so good. They bend, but they don't break. They're able to just adjust really quick to anything, and they have guys prepared.
So 3rd and 3. This is big for the Monarchs.
You gotta think you probably keep it in Jacob's hands, and they do.
And he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. So
That's Raymond in there on the stop.
Lindsley's defensive line going to hold strong yet again tonight.
I mean, Lindsley's been so good there. That defensive line has really shown out and caused these big plays. I mean, they're just able to stop them here on these short yardage situations.
And Fitzpatrick, he's going to be out to punt once again tonight. And now DiLorenzo, after we've seen him go after Fitzpatrick, he's going to drop back deep for the return. So it might change up Fitzpatrick's strategy here, trying to keep it out of his hands.
I mean, normally Monarchs fans love seeing Fitzpatrick out there, but definitely not like this.
But he's able to get off a good high punt. Connor Fitzpatrick. And DiLorenzo's going to scoop it up and try and give it a return. They're going to drop him back to the 10-yard line where they're going to spot it. They got two different spots going on.
Good coverage there by the Monarchs, and beautiful punt there by Connor Fitzpatrick.
So I think they will spot at the 10. Got refs standing at two different places.
Now Lindsley back deep here.
And it would have been interesting to see if DiLorenzo let that ball go, if it was going to be a touchback. Or I couldn't tell what Sabuka twin was over there giving a chase. If he's going to be able to get there and down it. It was a great punt from Fitzpatrick. Complete field flipper. Here's Cohen. He's going to go for Coleman again. Jump ball caught. He's got a lot of space in front of him, and no one's going to catch him other than maybe Luca DiLorenzo.
They're going to high five as he just walks into the end zone. 90-yard touchdown for the Cadets.
So their past two plays, 2 touchdowns for Lindsley.
And Nathan Coleman just turns on the Jets and takes it 90 yards to the house.
Just one of your bigger receivers out there on the field, and he was flying, though.
I mean, he's coming in at 6'3". Just an absolute giant out there. All right, here for the extra point now.
Graneros, he drills another one. So since his early miss, he's been perfect on the night. It's going to put Lindsley up 27-0.
I mean, Lindsley looks really good right now. Definitely a team that came ready to compete. And just look at this.
And it was
right over Jace Barch.
It was good coverage from him. Just not the size matchup you want right there. And there's
looks like a little wave by, and then eventually gets the high five. I mean, as you see, 3 Lindsley defenders down there, and just no one's around them.
So now we're at the point you talked about we didn't want to be at, where you're desperate for points now, down 27-0.
I think you definitely are starting to get to that point. But there's still a lot of football left in this game. But, I mean, Lindsley right now is clicking on all cylinders. Pretty much anything they call, run, pass, it's all just working.
And this team is as advertised. We always hear about all the talent Lindsley has. They're delivering so far tonight.
They're not back on to kickoff.
Here we go. Graneros once again. We'll go towards Ashton Collette. No, he's going to go away as J.D. Wells able to keep his knee up that time.
J.D. Wells.
Looks like a flag came out.
Flags are flying. But nice return there by A.D.
Let's see what our flag is. A couple cadets were pointing towards John Marshall. It's a block in the back, I think. We'll back the Monarchs up pretty deep here.
I think you are right about that.
Our refs are talking it over. Or maybe exactly where the flag took place.
Looks like he's picking it up. Not sure.
$10 yards, first down.
So it was a block in the back.
Mark's going to take over, backed up in their own territory.
Penalty yards are definitely starting to add up now.
Something that's hurt the Monarchs in past games. Now Coffey's going to have an empty set. 4 receivers.
Think a screen here.
And it's just going to be a keeper, and he's looking for any room he could have.
And it looked like maybe Rydell just tapped him and Jacob slipped.
It will get 4 yards. It's going to be second and a long 6.
Definitely a nice first play there. Out comes Jace Barch. See Ashton Clinton there on the huddle.
Marshall's going to get back in the I formation we've seen them start the game in. They're going to go to J.D. Wells, and he's going to try to get it to the outside, fight for all he can. Maybe he was able to get a yard instead of just getting back to the line of scrimmage.
I mean, just nice fight there by J.D. just to get back to the line of scrimmage and not lose yardage.
For a guy who's just, being thrown into a spot, this is his first start at running back in his 4 years of John Marshall football. We haven't really seen him get the ball at all other than in late game situations where, you get the benching in.
I mean, JD definitely probably wasn't aware he was going to start until probably Wednesday. Wasn't really sure on how Clipson's ankle was.
They were having hope all week they'd have Clipson out there. But J.D. Wells, he's really doing all he can tonight. And here he is again. And he's going to have the first down, J.D. Wells.
I mean, JD's stepping up as much as he can right now. I mean, Clipson's definitely one of those once-in-a-generation type players.
Yeah, Monarchs, they usually are the team with the loaded backfield. They have a bunch of different guys they can throw at you. But Clipson Wallace, he's been the workhorse all year long. Ashton Collette, he's going to get back into the game.
But I think for the Monarchs right now, they're really just waiting for that one player to step up and make a big play.
Yeah, when you've had injuries like they've had all year, it's tough to have consistency with that offense. And they're gonna have to call a timeout as they were late getting out of the huddle.
The Monarchs are definitely they do need to get some points here on this drive. Down 27-0.
I don't think you can be really upset with your defense in this situation. They've really given up 3 big plays that's hurt them so far.
I mean, the big plays have just been killing the Monarchs tonight.
Really, they've at certain times done more than you could ask for.
Really got to expect them to try and shut that down. But this weekend, Monarch Stadium will be the site for a fun Halloween event. Let's head down to the sidelines to get more information from WJMH reporter Jackson Suddeth. Jackson?
Marshall County Schools, in partnership with local community agencies, is hosting a track-or-treat Halloween party on Sunday, October 30th, from 5 until 6 p.m. at Monarchs. There will be music, games, and treats. It will be free to attend and open to the public. Reporting from the sideline, I'm Jackson Suddeth with WJMH Sports.
So the Monarchs try some trickery and it's picked off. The second interception tonight for Lindsley. That time it was Brendan Sabuka throwing the ball, trying to find Ashton Collette.
And that's intercepted by Mattia, but there is a flag down on the field. But thank you, Jackson. That'll be a fun time for the community and everyone to come out and just enjoy themselves. See the student section there.
And it looked like the ref was pointing in the way of Lindsley, but it might have been after.
Looks like it might have been a holding call.
Yeah, on the return.
We got a hold on the intercepting team. 10 yards, first down.
So we'll be on the return, so Lindsley will keep the ball just backed up 10 yards further. It's just been rough for the Monarchs offense tonight, just not able to find that rhythm they need.
And then these penalties are starting to add up here now.
Cohen's going to fake one way, now zip over to the middle of the field. Good catch. Still fighting for all he can before Brendan's finally able to drag him down. That's Colin Paul.
Took a little slow to get up there, but Nice tackle there.
Lindsley, they've just been moving the ball with ease these past couple possessions.
They've just been able to find the open guy and find the mismatches. And the Monarchs have been playing really good coverage. It's just for a second.
They try to go back up the middle to Paul. This time out of the backfield. Showing a little versatility with him. It's good run defense from the Monarchs. That's really where this team's good at. It's their defensive line and their linebackers. They have a really good run defense. But Lindsley, they showed they can work around that and throw the ball with a lot of success.
I mean, Lindsley's just looked really good tonight.
Now Cohen's going to roll out of the pocket like he's going to throw cross body. It's a touchdown. What a throw from Cohen.
And that's Mati Field.
So it's all Lindsley here in the first half. 33-0. The PAT pending. What a throw that was from Cohen.
I mean, he's just able to step out of the pocket. Just kind of looks like he's falling backwards a little bit. You see him spit his mouth guard out over there. I mean, we knew coming into this game he was a very impressive quarterback, and he has been nothing short of it tonight.
And just another PAT good, so 34-0 Monarchs.
And
now
there's a flag down coming in really late after the PAT.
See what our call is here.
There's multiple flags down.
Bryce Cook looked upset, making his way to the sideline. One of the senior leaders for this team plays with a lot of emotion. Let's listen to our call.
Good. Extra point, is good. Dead ball. Personal foul. Number 14, defense. 15 yards on the kickoff.
That's going to be on Jacob Caulfield after the kick.
I mean, that's just not what you want from especially one of your leaders on this team. But then that's more penalty yards, and the deeper they're going to put you back here.
So there's 1:06 left here in the second quarter, and after a 6-0 first quarter, Lindsley put up 28 in the second. That's assuming they don't get the ball back and strike right away. They still have all 3 timeouts to play with, so don't count them out yet.
I think the emotions are really getting to them right now. As a lot of them, this is their last game here. But Lindsley will be kicking it from the 50-yard line here. It's a good opportunity to pin them back deep. Oh, my mistake. They're kicking from the 50 or 45 in John Marshall territory.
So with what we've seen from Graneros tonight, you got to assume there will be no shot at return for this one.
It'll be interesting to see what they do here because you don't want to kick it out of the end zone and give them that extra yardage.
Here goes Graneros. He's
And
just
now-
going to show off the leg a little bit.
I think that one was
Might have-
good.
Might
The
have drilled
upright.
that one. How about that?
And out comes the offense for the Monarchs. Good shot of there, Demario White.
As you can see from that sideline shot right there, not too many happy Monarchs here so far tonight. Here's another look at Granero's kick. I think he did make it.
And just a great kick there.
Now, I'm not exactly good at math, so I can't tell you quite how far that one was, but that's a pretty deep kick right there.
Not really sure the length on it, but
They're going to go to J.D. Wells, and this time he's instantly met by a couple cadets.
and now the clock is going to run under 1 minute. There is another flag down. And if you're a fan of the Monarchs, you definitely have to hope this one's going against Lindsley.
Definitely don't need any more negatives on the night.
Kind of looks like the Monarchs are backing up.
Yeah.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the offense. We're 76. The distance. Second down.
And that one's going to be against Andreas Hunter. Personal foul.
So things just getting worse and worse for John Marshall. And the clock's going to start rolling again.
I mean, you're back deep. The clock is not on your side. Now you're looking at a 1st and 20. I mean, what do you think if you go into that locker room at halftime? What do you say to your players?
I mean, there's not too much to say. You just got to clean up the personal foul penalties. Those really just are a bad look for you. And J.D. Wells is met in the backfield as soon as he touched the ball and threw him backwards. And if I'm John Marshall, I'm just trying to get this half over with. I'm not running another play. They don't have no need to as long as Lindsley doesn't call a timeout, which so far looks like that's not going to happen.
Yeah, they definitely should just let the clock run here. They don't seem in any hurry.
Yeah, and some the Monarchs on the sideline are going to start making their way down the field.
Just not a good half there for the Monarchs.
Now, it started off, I mean,
That
I
first
don't think-
quarter.
I don't think it could be mad at all at that first quarter. 6-0. That's all you could ask for, maybe a little bit more offense. But
then that second quarter, things just started with the pick, then the deep touchdown on the very next play, and things just did not get better after that.
and we've seen Lindsley, they've been able to strike quick. 2 one-played possessions. There's a look at our score, 34-0, all Cadets. Quiet Monarch Stadium right now. So the band's going to start making their way over, maybe try and lighten up the mood a little bit.
Hopefully that'll get the crowd back into it just a little bit. But you can imagine some of them probably aren't the happiest right now.
But
Pretty
on the other side, like you said earlier, Lindsley traveled really well. I think they got their own student section going on over too. Not too far of a drive, and they made their way out here. You can see why they support their cadets.
The Monarchs still got a pretty good student section going down there with the cold weather and the score. They actually had a PJ theme today. Changed up last minute.
So not the first half any of us wanted to see. John Marshall really, I mean, I don't know what you could do.
I mean, they're trying everything. And I mean, this Lindsley's just so talented. There's great players all over the field.
Yeah, they're going to get the ball to start off the second half.
I think most of you guys really have a lot of experience together. The majority of them being seniors this year. But then they still have some great underclassmen, too.
Bearing a drastic change here in the second half that will be bringing you in a little bit. Looking like that Park game is going to decide whether you make the playoffs or not.
As halftime rolls, our score is Monarchs 0, the Cadets 34.
While the teams get adjusted for the second half, it is the band senior night. We'll look in on that.
Welcome back inside Monarchs Stadium, where currently the Lindsley Cadets lead 34-0. And Lindsley's going to come out and prepare to return the second half kickoff.
A chance for them to add on even more to this lead they got.
So, everyone, what do you expect to see from the Monarchs this half?
I mean, I think at this point it's just about any of the positives you can get. That's what that Lindsley offense is. It's scary, just like those ghosts right there. But, there's a lot of football to be left to played. But to ask your offense to put up, 34 and your defense have a shutout to maybe force overtime, or, maybe they get that 35, win the second half 35-0 and win the game. That's a lot to ask. That's going to be hard to do against this Lindsley team. So at this point, I think it's got to be, you just got to take away from this game whatever you can, because you got a big one next week against Park.
I think you're right on that. It's definitely going to be hard to come back down 34-0, not really having that momentum you need coming out of halftime, and then Lindsley starts with the ball. So I think you do want to try and just build off anything you can for next week and hope you can get some guys back.
Yeah, definitely. Another important thing, keep everyone healthy. You've been banged up. At certain points, if guys aren't feeling their best, might as well take them out of there and protect them for next week.
So, next week's it. It's either you're in or you're out.
Yeah, like a loss to Lindsley, that's not going to hurt your playoff odds too much. It just won't get you there, but it won't drop you too far. Nothing to win against Park can't make up for it, but that's asking a lot to go to the island and beat Park.
Speaking of Park, they're actually winning 21-18 over Parkersburg South.
What a game that is. In Park, they've won a couple good ones against good teams this year, including Musselman. It's losing to Bridgeport 42-21. Park at number 7 right now, a win over number 2 South. Probably get them into the top 5.
Park just looks really good. There's only heard really good things coming out there.
I got the best player in the state at the receiver spot. Another challenge for the Monarch secondary next week are having to do with DiLorenzo today.
The corners just really need to step up and somehow find a way to stay with these guys, even with all their speed.
There's some Monarchs huddling right before our second half. Got about a minute 50 before we kick it off.
And out comes Jacob Caulfield now with head coach Mark Caesar. Both teams get warmed up. There's still a minute and 34 seconds left at halftime. So they're just going to huddle up here.
So, Carson, we haven't really seen the Monarchs have much success at anything offensively tonight. Do you think they're going to, if they were to able to get something rolling here, it's probably too late at this point, but if they were, how do you think they get it going?
I think you got to, your run game just isn't working. We have seen just some guys just make huge plays up front. Like Jamie Rydell, he's been a huge factor on that defensive line, just making multiple moves. Nice shot there of Cole. Getting some water. But I think you're going to have to make some moves through the air. You've seen some of their best plays tonight come when passing. I think you really just got to put the ball in Jacob's hands here. Like JD, he's played pretty well tonight. Just hasn't really had that big flash of a play.
Definitely can't blame this on the loss of Clipson. JD's really done all he could tonight. Maybe with the addition of Clipson, you're going to get a little bit more than what you should. But JD, he's done that for the most part tonight, other than a couple plays. Got to be happy with how he stepped up in this role.
You definitely do, because he's not Clipson Wallace. He's JD. But he's definitely stepped up and played his role tonight.
And with the uncertainty of Clipson's injury, they didn't know if he'd be in tonight. Obviously, right now, don't know if he's going to be out there next week. So might have JD back in the starting lineup at Park.
I think right now, just you got to be thinking JD's going to be your running back going forward for the rest of the season.
What we've seen tonight, no reason to be uncomfortable with that. So now teams are going to get set up for kickoff. Fitzpatrick, it's going to be the first time we're going to see him get to kick one deep tonight.
There was a good look at the student section. Some banners they made. Connor Fitzpatrick is on kickoff. Not sure who Lindsley has back to return.
I can't see the numbers from here.
I imagine they probably have some speed, as most players do here for the Cadets.
Lindsley having speed. I haven't seen that yet tonight.
You sure you have seen number 7? I mean, he's pretty quick, just goes by in a flash, but.
Here's a line drive kick from Fitzy. It will be returned, though. Going to try to get to the outside.
Just staying up on his feet.
It's number 10, Romello Durr.
They bring in some of their younger guys now. Lindsley doesn't want to take any chance of injuries.
Yeah, Durr just a sophomore. And if you look at the return stats, usually the returners, it looks like it's DiLorenzo and Jiley Johnson. So again, other guys' opportunities to get deep. Try to see what they can do with their speed.
I mean, no surprise Lorenzo's out there. His speed.
So it's Cohen and Taylor in the backfield. And they're going to fire another one quick over the middle. Oh, off the hands of Paul, and Braden Sabuka almost pulled in the one-handed pick.
That would have been a huge momentum shift there and giving the Monarchs great field position, just not able to hold it in. Just right off the hands.
That was a pretty good throw from Cohen.
Just right off the hands of Cullen there. Sabuka just gets the one hand on it, just not able to bring it in. Looks like he dove for it there.
Bounced right off his hand, too. So a shot from Paul probably helped make sure that one fell to the ground. And Cohen's going to drop deep and fire one again.
What a move there.
Down the sideline, one man to
Nathan
beat.
Coleman.
And it's going to be wrapped up at the ankle. Cody
He's
Harmon, he's
not
getting drugged.
down. Nathan Coleman. We haven't heard his number called a lot tonight, but when it is, he makes the most of his opportunities.
He had the 90-yard touchdown. He had another probably about 25-yard catch against Barch, and then this time he just showed his pure speed and then a little bit of strength, dragging Cody Hartman along with him. Look at that move on Barch again. Good block. That's DiLorenzo throwing out a block.
Looks like this might be coming back here as Lindsley's backing up. Not sure what happened there. Didn't see a flag.
Now we're going to have our call.
On the offense, 15 yards will be a first down.
Well, that one is coming back.
I think he said blindside block. So a big play, all for nothing for Lindsley. With how this offense looked tonight, they can go right back and do it. So here we go.
And bring a man in motion.
This time they're just going to hand it off.
That's
Good
Andreas
play.
Hunter there. Just wraps him up and drags him down.
Really hasn't been too much rushing room whenever they've tried to tonight for Lindsley, other than maybe one nice run up the middle. They're having their way through the air, so they don't really got to rely on that ground game right now.
I mean, if they had to go to it, I'm sure they could. But, I mean, right now, everything's working in the passing game. So I don't see a reason to abandon it now.
There you go, out on another quick screen to Paul. Good ankle tackle from Braden Sabuka.
He's able to trip him up there. Looked like he had a little bit of open room there.
If he wasn't able to do that, he might have been gone.
Knowing these receivers, there's probably a good chance he could have been.
Just outran anyone else. It's going to set up a 3rd and medium, 3rd and 5. A good chance for the Monarchs defense to get off the field here early in the second half, because they need all the time on offense they can have.
And this is where you got to switch the script right now. You got to get a stop here and get your offense back the ball.
Looks like the defensive line is going to be trying to get pressure, and they're just going to find DiLorenzo, and he's going to have a first down. He's going to run
Bounces
for more.
to the outside. What
Puts on a spin move, and Maverick Lemasters is going to force him out. But Luca DiLorenzo.
Just the speed. And did you see that block by Alex Taylor?
I mean, they're just playing a complete game, but we have an injured Monarch down right now.
We're going to hope he's all right. But check out this block by 27 here. And look at Lorenzo just come across the field.
Got Ty Rogers. He's
going to put the block there on Sabuka.
not a fair matchup for Ty right there. Haven't got the speedy, well, have not a guard, but trying to tackle the speedy DiLorenzo. I can't tell who our injured guy is right now.
Just got to hope he's all right.
There's some Monarch fans. Some still hanging around.
Seen a lot of the student section was gone during halftime. We took a little walk down there.
Yeah, it's definitely emptied out.
See all smiles over there on the Lindsley sideline.
There's what's left of the student section.
Looks like a little bit of them came back. Probably just took a trip across the street. Now they're back.
Our guy's still down right now. But Monarchs had a chance right there to get off the field. They just he is up. Still can't see the number.
Can't really tell there.
Maybe
Cody Hart.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We saw him limping earlier off the field. Now he's getting help, barely putting any pressure on his feet.
Keep you updated on his status as we find out more. I'm pretty sure that is Cody Hartman.
Yeah, can see clearly a number now. But Lindsley gets back to work. It's going to be another quick pass to the outside. It's Colin Paul. He's got himself in a foot race, and he's finally going to be brought down.
Another first down there for Lindsley. I mean, Lindsley just playing a really good game right now. The Monarchs just haven't been able to keep up with these playmakers.
Well, it looks like from here they're checking Hartman's eyes. Maybe took a shot to the head. Going, he's going to keep this ball. He's going to find Paul again, who's been the main man this drive for about 9 more yards.
He's trying to get him one here.
He's been close to breaking a couple. I don't think we've seen him in the end zone yet tonight, though.
See the Lindsley cheerleaders over there. Getting the fans hyped up.
Here's a toss. And again, good run defense from the Monarchs. And the few times they've been tested today, that's that's Braden Sabuka on the tackle. So on a 3rd and 1, I don't think they're going to give them the first down. What it looks like.
So since our last stream, Joe Marshall has beaten Brook and then lost a big game to Morgantown.
They went back to Paul right there. Still trying to get him one on this loaded Lindsley offense. Yeah, that game against Morgantown. It was kind of similar to this one. The Monarchs, they started off, found themselves in a close one early, and then they just weren't able to help out their defense as much as they could, and Morgantown ran away with it.
The flag's
there's
going to
a
fly
flag.
in here.
So pre-snap, see what our call is.
You got to think it's
Ball. We'll start on the offense. Number 56. 5 yards, so second down.
There have been a lot of penalty flags flying here recently.
Yeah, and that's a rare Lindsley mistake. It's on Debu Yee. One of the few times this Lindsley offense hasn't moved forward. Here's Cohen. He loses the football. It's still loose. It's still loose, and it's finally picked up by Lindsley.
It looked like Bryce was going to be able to get on it and then punches it out farther. Sabuka grabs it and just not able to contain it.
Braden Sabuka, we saw him dive for the ball right there. One of the Monarchs giving chase. Up a little slowly, but he's good.
Definitely an opportunity you hate to see there. But now you force 3rd and 28. Just can't give up the big play.
Lindsley, they're going to get back at it. And they're going to – it's Bryce Cook sacking Cohen.
Big play there for Bryce Cook,
The
senior and a leader on this team.
Bryce Cook, probably one of the more underrated players on this team. Now we're going to see Granieros really going to test his leg out right here. His longest on the season, it is 40. We saw him hit from, it was about 57 in warm-ups.
He'll be kicking from around the 40 here. It's up. And it's good. Beautiful kick there.
Granieros. He's been big for them this year. They've won a couple close games, and he has 2 game winners and a big one against Steubenville. I think the other one was Dover, maybe. Oh, it was Fort Fry. Fort Fry, a really good football program. So this Lindsley team, they play a tough schedule.
There was Jason Miner. He's been a fan favorite of the team.
He wanted to come up here and join us tonight. He's out with a concussion.
He's down there enjoying himself on the sidelines, trying to hype up his team. He's been a big hype man for them. They had a wing night at the beginning of the season. He was a fan favorite from all the teams around the valley.
So after Graniero's kick, it's 37-0 in favor of the Cadets. 6:47 left in the 3rd quarter. Lindsley should have made away about half the quarter right there on that drive.
I think Lindsley's probably just wanting to kind of control the clock here. But it doesn't seem like they're really slowing down right now.
We're still seeing a lot of the starters in.
Just trying to get some of those stats up there.
Doesn't hurt, I guess. It's a high kick from Granieros, and Ashton Collette calls off to Mario White, who looked like he was going to return it. And
Ashton Collette's fighting for it.
Gets about to the 25 again. It's 5 extra yards. This is the first time we're going to see the Monarchs offense in the second half. See what adjustments they made. Try and get a little bit of rhythm that they can.
I'm excited to see what they do here on this drive. You got to hope they can make something here.
Got to maybe get the confidence back up before you go and play Park next week.
You know, that's a big game for them, rival game.
Shot for the playoffs on the line.
And I want to be on the island.
They're going to try J.D. Wells out, and he had a little stutter step. Looked like he maybe made a man miss, but then he's instantly brought down after that.
I mean, Lindsley's just so good at reinforcing the guys up front. The linebackers are just so quick. If JD makes a move, there's some guy there just to find him.
Their defensive coordinator, James Wallace, been here since 2003 at Lindsley. Can see why the guy stuck around so long. Defense is balling out.
Just super talented guy down there on that sideline.
It's J.D. Wells again. Fighting for all he can. J.D. Wells carrying the pile a little bit. Gets about 7.
Nice run there for JD to set him up with 3rd and 3. Monarchs, you definitely want to get a first down here. What do you think they do here?
I think you got what they'll do is keep it in Caulfield's hands, maybe a keeper, or roll him out and give him the option for a throw or to keep it and run for all he can. But I don't think with how you ran the ball so far tonight up the middle, you can trust it to get you 3 yards right here. They will go up the middle. J.D. Wells, he makes a couple guys miss, and he's going to have enough for the first down. J.D. Wells put on the moves a little bit, getting just enough.
Looked like he was going to get stopped behind the line, and then just puts a beautiful move there to get that first down.
Hit the brakes real quick. So J.D. Wells moves the chains for the Monarchs. 1st and 10. A little confusion in the Monarchs huddle, it looks like.
But they're starting to move the ball here a little bit. Got that first down. The clock is still really ticking down here.
Here's J.D. Wells, and he had absolutely nowhere to go right there.
There's multiple guys in there in the backfield.
3 cadets on him as soon as he got the ball. Looked like the first one there, Jamie Rydell. Carson's called his name a couple of times tonight.
I mean, he's just been so impressive tonight.
Came off the edge right there. A really good play.
Now it's going to bring up 2nd and 12.
Demario White's going to check into the game.
Wonder when they're going to call his name.
Yeah, I think we've only seen him on the little touch pass tonight, which did not work out.
Expect to see some more screens from this team.
Ashton comes
A little
over in
confusion
motion.
there for the Cadets. Not sure who's going to go out there and cover Demario. The play is just blown dead for delay of game.
So tonight, anything that could go wrong for the Monarchs has gone wrong. It's just been a rough one for them.
And it's seeming like Cody's probably going to be out the rest of the game. Does have his pads off and is just sitting on the bench right now.
You know, we don't want to speculate about injuries, but he's already had 1 concussion this year, and so seeing them checking his eyes, probably just for safety reasons, going to hold him out.
And
here's
JD
Wells. Wells doing everything he can tonight. Runs for about 10 yards, maybe 11, but not going to be enough for a first down. Set up a 3rd and 7.
I mean, JD's got them in this down now. But I think you got to trust the ball in Jacob's hands and just try to get this first down. So I'm not really sure how many more opportunities John Marshall's going to have with the ball here.
Yeah, with how Lindsley chewed the clock their first drive, and now Marks a little over 3 minutes here on this drive. They're going to try J.D. Wells out one more time. And 4 cadets right there in the backfield. It's just been that kind of night for them.
And that was London Taylor and Jamie Rydell.
Maybe if Luca Di Lorenzo didn't play for this team, he might be the player of the game for them so far. But
I mean, it's hard to compete with number 7.
He's going to be the deep man here to return this punt.
I mean, Jamie definitely's got to be possibly defensive player of the game for me.
So low snap.
Close.
But Lindsley not bringing too much pressure that time. And kind of kicked it away from Di Lorenzo. Now he's going to try and go scoop it up. He just kind of faked at it. Had me excited, though.
For Fitzy there, I think Di Lorenzo, Fitzy's probably glad he wasn't there on the line.
I was kind of hoping he picked that ball up right there while it was bouncing. I want to see what he could do.
After that ball hit the ground at Fitzy's feet, definitely had to wonder what Lorenzo would have done there if he was on that line, not back deep.
But Connor Fitzpatrick, he's done a great job all year. Snaps aren't always the most accurate to him. A lot of high ones. That's really one of the first low ones I've seen. A lot of times he's got back up to go grab it, though, as it's over his head. He deserves a lot of credit for what he does.
Oh, he's looked great here this year. Seen him set a record here for John Marshall.
Here's a quick pass. It's Colin Paul once again as Lindsley got a new quarterback in. It's Braden Wade, a freshman for Lindsley.
And Lindsay's got to get prepared for next season. Why not get your freshman some snaps at QB?
Good chance for him to get some experience. The Monarchs still have their starters in, so he's really going against the starting defense. And it's a
beautiful
good
tackle there by Sabuka.
He's a little shaken up on it. Braden Sabuka, he's playing pretty well tonight on the defensive end.
He's looked really good tonight. I almost had that interception earlier. And I almost had the fumble. And then a beautiful tackle there.
He's had a couple good tackles in the run game.
And he's been really... The last few games we got the call, both the Sabuka brothers have looked really good. Oh, I think that's going to be on Andreas there for the false start. Or neutral zone infraction.
Dead ball. Full start. Fence 3, 5 yards.
Didn't look like the Lindsley Cadets jumped. But it might have just been because Andreas moved.
Not something we're used to seeing from Carson, a prediction wrong. Here's a good throw from Wade over the middle. It's Nathan Coleman. He's in a foot race, and he's going to win it.
Coleman's gone. Touchdown. Nathan Coleman.
It's his second of the night.
That one starting at the 23, ending in the end zone.
What a throw from Braden Wade, too. Just zipped it over the middle to the wide open Coleman, and there's some more celebrations from Lindsley.
I mean, they've been really they've looked really good with their celebrations tonight. Definitely been an enjoy to watch. And he just outruns Hayden Geyser there.
So Graneros is good yet again.
And it is now 44-0.
And a tough one tonight here at Monarch Stadium. 41 seconds left in the third still.
Definitely not what we hoped for. You see Cole Porter down there trying to keep his teammates' heads up. I mean, he's just such a great leader down there on the sidelines. When he's in or on the sidelines.
You can tell he just really loves the game of football. No matter what, he stays fired up. Now he's playing a little banged up today. He has been really for past couple weeks.
And the hope is definitely to see him continue playing at the next level.
Yeah, not quite sure where he's going to go play, but he's definitely got. I think if he wants to, he's going to have an opportunity to somewhere.
I mean, whatever team gets him will be really lucky to have him. Just a tremendous athlete there.
It's from Kentucky, but I think we're pretty happy to have him here in Moundsville.
Oh, definitely glad to have him here. I mean, just been such a joy to see him around school. He's always got something fun to say. Seems like he may be a little fan of the broadcast here, too.
All right, it's got another Lindsley kickoff.
Seen this a good bit tonight.
A couple times. Graniro's chops to the ball. Gets this one off. Ashton Collette. See what he can do. Trying to reverse field. He's going to find a spot up the middle. Ashton
Collette is just going to get caught from behind, but a beautiful return there by Collette.
It's a good tackle because Collette returns it to the 45. They might give him the 46.
Just caught there by Matteo. I mean, just what a return there by Collette. Just look at the speed and the elusiveness.
Cut up the middle.
Slides around multiple guys and eventually just gets caught from behind.
Here's J.D. Wells. Bouncing it to the outside. J.D.
Wells.
Getting to the corner. He's going to have the first down. He's still
Stays
up.
on his feet.
J.D. Wells.
What a play there for J.D. Looks like he's going to get around 11 there.
We might have a flag out on the field. It's going to be on John Marshall.
You hate to see it's big play. Now penalty. So there's going to be 19 seconds here in the
Blocking
third.
the back. Offense number 85. 10 yards. Down.
That's going to be blocking the back.
That's a big one, though. Had probably one of your biggest plays of the night other than the pass to Collette. And it comes right back. So the clock's going to resume, and that'll probably end the third quarter. But J.D. Wells, he's playing really good tonight.
He has. He's really stepped up after coming out of the locker room.
I knew he had the speed and the strength, but I didn't know that footwork was there to make all the guys miss.
And I think, I mean, if you can't get Clipson back, I think getting this repetition here with JD be really good for you come next week.
And even if we don't have Clipson next week, it'll help him out. There are many exciting things happening throughout Marshall County schools. To find out how you can learn more about them, let's check in with WJMH reporter Jackson Suddeth, who is standing by on the sideline. Jackson?
The Marshall County Schools Local School Improvement Council Showcase will be held Tuesday, November 1st from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. At the Marshall County Fairgrounds. Each school will feature unique aspects of its school curriculum. This is open to the public, and we invite each to attend. Reporting from the sideline, I'm Jackson Suddeth with WJMH Sports.
Thank you, Jackson.
Out come the Monarchs now.
44-0. Starters still going to be out there on the field.
I mean, definitely just want to find some momentum for next week.
And what I was trying to say before we went down to Jackson, even if you have Clipson Wallace next week, you got maybe the condition won't quite be there with him, so might have to relieve him with JD a couple times. Now Coffee is going to take
a shot. He's got him, man.
Collette.
Ashton Collette.
Can't reel it in. Had to kind of slow down for that ball right there.
I mean, just beautiful coverage there by Lindsley, and that was Simmons there on the cover.
Like Collette, if he was maybe hitting stride, would have been able to do something with it.
Probably the Monarchs' first points of the game.
Yeah, but he had to work his way back. Got inside on the pads and bounced off, it looked like.
So they're going to do here on 2nd and 10.
Offense, they're staying aggressive, though.
And it looks like they're going to keep the running clock going now.
Here's J.D. Wells. He's going to try to run away from anyone he can.
And he's just going to get swarmed there in the backfield. Not sure. I think he made it just back to the line of scrimmage on that play. And right now, nothing's just going their way.
Nope, it's 3rd and 10.
Going I'd like to see the Monarchs at least get one touchdown here. And they're going to give it back to JD. He's going to find a
JD's gonna
hole.
spin off a couple tackles. I'm gonna mark him just shy of the first down. It looks like, and they are gonna give a 4th down. So this time it's about a full yard. See if the Monarchs
I
offense
think
is
we
able
see
to
the
convert.
keeper here with Caulfield.
And this time he's able to get upfield enough, and he's gonna just run with it. Jacob Caulfield.
Strong running there for Caulfield.
So
So he's going to get down to the 35-yard line.
there's some improvement in the second half from what we saw in the first half, as the QB sneak did not work twice.
The time's going to keep ticking. The Monarchs are really in no hurry to get to the line here.
Just trying to grab some positives, not get totally embarrassed here on the scoreboard.
It's going to be nice to see some of these seniors get their last touchdown here.
Here's Caulfield. He's going to drop back. Going to make a couple guys
Escapes
miss in
the
the pocket.
pocket.
Going to get a block.
Going to cut it back.
Jacob Caulfield, he's still up.
Jacob Caulfield. Looked like he kind of got him around the face mask.
Yeah, look,
Kind of surprised no flag came in for that one. Been throwing him all night.
but it will be enough for a Monarchs 1st down.
I mean, just a beautiful run there by Caulfield either way. Just steps up in the pocket. Able to avoid Adam Costson.
Oh, yeah, that was a high tackle. And here's
JD.
Wells. He's going to bounce it to the outside. They'll wrap him up and
Looks like they're gonna call it dead.
move forward momentum. It's another good carry from JD. He gets 7.
Monarchs are getting closer here to score. I mean, they got the Mario White out there wide open. Gonna bring some pressure.
JD, this time there's no escape, and there's a penalty flag at the line of scrimmage.
Kind of looked like Lindsley figured Monarchs are running the ball, leaving the Mario.
Guess they had
Pretty-
enough JD Wells.
Illegal formation on the offense. Too many men in the backfield. 5 yards, replace 2nd down.
So it's another one on the Monarchs. Illegal formation.
And that's just another big penalty against the Monarchs. Putting back there at 2nd and 8 now.
They're going to get back to JD Wells, and again,
And she's going to be swallowed up there.
2 Cadets. Not much JD could do right there.
The Cadets just got off the line so fast and got in the backfield. Just gave JD no time. Now it's 3rd and 9. You got to think they're probably going to pass here or run it with Caulfield. These runs with JD just haven't been working on these past few plays.
It will come back out in the eye. Caulfield, the Masters, Wells.
See the switch here.
And Caulfield
Jacob.
ducks a sack. There's no getting away from that one.
Just not able to bump it out to the outside anymore.
That was Isaac Depew.
Looks like he's going to lose a yard there on that play. Looks like they're going to be on Fitzpatrick now. Probably just want to get some points here. Not sure who was in there on the sack, but here's Connor Fitzpatrick for his first field goal of the night.
with the injury to Hartman, Jacob Caulfield's going to be out there being the holder. Now Lindsley's going to call a timeout.
I wonder what they are going to think about on that side.
Yeah, with Caulfield in there as the holder, could be a little bit of trickery.
Definitely be interesting to see here. We can imagine they probably just want to take their points here.
Yeah. I mean, maybe in some situations you take the risk, but when you're being shut out in the final home game of the season,
I think you just want to take some points.
Yeah, any points will make you feel a little better about yourself.
I think Fitzpatrick's probably just happy to be out here kicking a field goal instead of punting.
This will be the first time we've seen him get a field goal off tonight.
He'll be kicking from around the 31 or 32.
It's a high snap. Caulfield's able to get it down, though, and that kick's going to be no good.
Just far to the right there.
Just not the Monarchs' night at all tonight.
Now Lindsley's going to take back over with 5 minutes and 16 seconds. See what they do on this drive. I wonder if they're going to keep up with the pass game. Maybe they'll just start running the ball and start chewing the clock.
We've seen what Braden Wade's arm can do.
I think if you're Lindsley, though, you can still keep throwing the ball with the running clock.
There's Coach Caesar. So this is Wade's second drive of the night.
And he's going to hand it off.
About 2 yards right there on the first down run.
Not exactly sure who had that carry.
I think it was number 20, Mikey Trulis.
And Lindsley's in no hurry to get back to the line. They're just going to keep the clock ticking.
And bring him in motion. Wade's going to hand it off to him.
Going to make a move to the outside, and then he's just going to go out of bounds. That was Luca there.
Different one this time. That's Trulis. So, back-to-back play to the Trulis is different players, though.
Hear the band out there, the cheerleaders, trying to get everyone excited.
There's going to be a toss to the outside. Going to get to the edge.
Just going to cover the ball there.
Brought down out of bounds, but it will be a first down for Lindsley.
That was Nathan Smith there on that carry. See Nathan Coleman make big plays. Got Nathan Smith picking up the first down.
A couple different Lucas, a couple different Nathans, and they're all still just making plays.
Some of the student section still getting into it, dancing with the cheerleaders.
I can respect it. Sticking it out to the end, being a true fan. Wade takes the high snap, hands it off up the middle. It's Trulis.
And he just slips there on that one. Had some open room, no one really around him, and then just slips. As the clock is now under 3 minutes.
And Lindsley still just taking their time getting the play. So they're still looking off over to the sideline.
Looks like Lindsley's got like a country theme going on over there. See the cowboy hats and flannels.
It's another handoff up the middle, breaking a couple tackles.
Was Vinny Thackeray on that carry. A lot of new names in this game right now, and there is a flag down.
A couple different guys' reps. And it looks like they're pointing the way of the Monarchs.
I wonder what the call is here.
After the play, dead ball, personal foul, mask, defense number 60, 15 yards, first down.
Face mask.
So that'll move Lindsley into John Marshall territory.
And that's going to take the clock now under 2 minutes. And I think this is probably going to be the last drive of the game. Lindsley just has to run a few more plays here, unless they get in the end zone on one of these.
Toss to the outside.
There's some good tackling by the Monarchs there.
That's Cody Harding there on the tackle.
He's able to drag down Nathan Smith.
There's nice speed there to get him down.
That's a senior. His last time on this field. Making a play in the last minute.
Let's see if they're going to let it. I think they're going to let it at least run under a minute now. They still got 10 more seconds they can run off. And they are going to let it. It is a high
Snaps over
snap. The
Wade's
ball's
head.
down.
Oh, he's able to scoop it up. Now let's see what his legs can do, but Wade's going to be forced out of bounds.
He outruns a few Monarchs defenders, and Hayden Geyser's just there to force him out of bounds. Almost a disaster play there for Lindsley.
That was a pretty good play by Wade to scoop that up with one hand with the ball bouncing on the turf. Not the easiest thing to pick up, as we saw with our fumble earlier. Took about 4 different piles for it to finally be recovered.
Looks like the ball's just kind of rolling around all over the field right now. Not exactly sure what's going on.
So this should be the final snap of the game right here.
I think there's going to knee it here. It's going to be would have made a difference. I think the play clock did hit 0.
I was there for a couple of seconds, but I mean, what's the point of throwing the flag in that situation?
Yeah, that's the last thing we want to see tonight is another penalty flag fly. Both teams are going to line up. I mean, if you're a Monarch senior, this definitely is not the game you had envisioned for your last home.
Yeah, but gotta have a short memory because next week you're at the Island playing Park, the biggest game of your career. Make the playoffs.
I mean, you just got to go in there confident next week. But it should be a good game, hopefully. Hopefully we'll get some players back. And really just, I mean, next week's it. It's either you win or you're going home.
Just a rough night for the Monarchs.
We're going to hope Cody Hartman's okay.
And, you know, with how the game started, I was feeling pretty good about it. 6-0 at the end of the first. Then Lindsley just ran away with it. 28 in the second. They just,
I mean,
no coming back from that.
Just after that pick, the start the second quarter, it really just seemed like the momentum had just shifted. And both teams are going to go meet on the respected side.
For the Monarch seniors, I think this is emotional for them.
And that'll bring to an end to this game. The final score, Monarchs 0, the Cadets 44.
The Monarchs will be back in action next week for the regular season finale against rival Park.
And me and Roman would like to thank everyone who tuned to watch our broadcast for the past 2 years.
For the final time this season, you've been listening to Roman Grant and Carson Ebert. And from everyone here at WJMH Media, have a great night.